My boss called me a lazy piece of garbage. After years of slaving away for him, that was the thanks I got. But little did he know, I was about to fire him from his own company. It all started 7 years ago. I joined a small, struggling tech startup run by a guy named Marcus. Back then, it was just the two of us in a cramped office that smelled like old coffee and desperation. I wasn't just an employee. I was a co-founder in everything but name. I worked 18-hour days, weekends, holidays. I poured my heart, my soul, and all my ideas into building this company from the ground up. I developed our flagship software. I landed our first major clients. I trained every new hire. Marcus handled the business side, the schmoozing, the fundraising. We were a team, or so I thought. As the company grew, so did Marcus's ego. He started showing up late, taking 3-hour lunches, and spending more time on the golf course than in the office. He'd swan in, bark a few orders, and then disappear, leaving me to clean up the mess. The bigger we got, the smaller my contributions seemed in his eyes. He started referring to me as just a tech guy in meetings with investors. He took credit for my innovations, my sleepless nights, my breakthroughs. I bit my tongue, telling myself it was for the good of the company. The company was my baby, after all. The breaking point came last Tuesday. We were on the verge of closing a massive deal, a game changer that would put us on the map. The client had a last-minute, technically demanding request. It was a huge challenge, requiring a complete overhaul of a core feature. The deadline was insane, 72 hours. Everyone said it was impossible, but I knew I could do it. I told Marcus, "I've got this. Just give me the room to work." For the next 3 days, I lived at the office. I coded until my fingers were numb and my eyes burned. I survived on stale donuts and lukewarm energy drinks. My team was amazing, rallying around me, pulling all-nighters right alongside me. We were a well-oiled machine, fueled by caffeine and sheer willpower. With just an hour to spare, we did it. We pushed the update, and it worked flawlessly. I was exhausted but exhilarated. We had pulled off a miracle. I stumbled into Marcus's office, expecting a high five, a thank you, anything. He was on the phone, laughing. He gestured for me to wait. When he finally hung up, he didn't even look at me. He was scrolling through his phone. "What do you want?" he asked, his voice dripping with annoyance. I told him the update was live and the client was thrilled. He just grunted. Then he looked up, a sneer on his face. "Took you long enough," he said. "For what I pay you, I expect things to be done faster. Honestly, for the last few months, you've been nothing but a lazy piece of garbage, coasting on your past work." I just stood there, speechless. The air was sucked out of my lungs. Lazy, garbage, after everything I'd done. After the 72-hour coding marathon I just survived. The rage that had been simmering for years finally boiled over. But I didn't shout. I didn't scream. I just smiled. It was a cold, calm smile that seemed to unnerve him. "You know what, Marcus?" I said softly. "You're right. It's time for some changes around here." I walked out of his office, went straight to my desk, and made a few calls. You see, what Marcus had forgotten in his haze of arrogance and golf trips was who our biggest investors were. Over the years, I had built strong personal relationships with them. They weren't just investing in the company, they were investing in me, in my technical vision. They trusted me. And for the past year, I had been quietly keeping them updated on Marcus's declining contributions. The next morning, there was an emergency board meeting. Marcus strolled in looking confused. I was already there, along with our lead investors on a video call. The lead investor, a sharp woman named Eleanor, got straight to the point. "Marcus," she said, her voice like ice, "we've been reviewing your performance and the company's internal dynamics. It's become clear that your leadership is no longer aligned with the best interests of this company." Marcus's face went from confused to panicked. He started sputtering, talking about the new deal, about his vision. But no one was listening. Eleanor continued. "The board has voted. Effective immediately, your position as CEO is terminated." Marcus's jaw dropped. He looked at me, his eyes wide with betrayal and disbelief. "You!" he hissed. "You did this!" I just looked back at him, my expression unreadable. Eleanor wasn't finished. The board has also voted on your replacement. The new CEO is someone who has been the true engine of this company since day one." She looked directly at me. "Congratulations, Mr. CEO." Marcus was escorted out by security, shouting threats and insults. The office went silent, then erupted in applause. My team, the people who had been in the trenches with me, were cheering, clapping me on the back. It wasn't about revenge. It was about respect. It was about taking back what I had built. As I sat in my new, his old office, I looked at the city skyline. The journey was long and hard, but standing up for myself was the best decision I ever made. The real work was just beginning, but now I was finally in the driver's seat. And I was ready to lead my company, our company, into the future. Never let anyone devalue your work or your worth. Sometimes you don't just have to quit your job, you have to fire your boss. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.